What's up, hobby maniacs? Rob Baer here today with a fantastic look at this ginormous Chaos Army.
Spiky bits.
So hilariously, they painted up these pink horrors blue, which we all know now with the new Curse of Magnus book or Wrath of Magnus rather, that blue horrors are actually a thing. And I think there's actually only 2 blue horror miniatures, and that's the ones that came on the chariot. Just these 2 little guys here, which I could see being blue because they are smaller, of course. But I just thought that was hilarious because I was like, oh, cool, they're blue. And then now that's like a thing, which is hilarious. I mean, they use an amazing color palette. I couldn't even tell you which blues those are. But when they blended it in with the greens, I mean, it all just really pops and really, really works well. And of course, they got like the custom bases, a couple of different kinds of ones with actual like dirt and grit. And then there's ones here with like some slime and stuff. So they really have a good range of like painting and basing and everything. They do a lot of custom stuff. Now over here are some really sick looking plague drones, which I painted up a bunch of plague drones. I know how much of a pain in the ass these guys are to paint, believe me. And they went back and they went in and they cut everything back in, like all the little armor plating, all the little details. They did blood effects on all this stuff, the proboscises. Like, these guys look dope. Like, they look way better than the stuff I did, especially because they based them. Like, I'm always a fan of not actually using the like clear flying stands that GW comes with, because I'm just like Kenny. I don't want to see like unpainted components on my painted miniatures, and I think they really outdid themselves here. Top Miniatures did with all that. I mean, they got like freaking little eyeballs right here. Like, they sculpted stuff in, and that looks like a real freaking eyeball. Like, I don't know if you can see it there, but that is amazing. Like, I don't know how they did that. They quite possibly might be wizards. There's a good chance there. And then of course, in the same scheme, they did some plague bearers right here, which, squad of 10. This is kind of like a showcase army. Like, hey, this is who we are. This is what we can do. Hit us up. We can do some custom stuff. We can do some regular stuff. Whatever. And then they painted up 10 of the Nurgle plague bearers right there too. This is basically a showcase army. Like, this is who we are. This is what we can do. They got all sorts of cool different effects and things like that. And then jumping over to these Slaaneshi Demonettes on Steed. These guys rock. Like, they got some custom artwork on here. Like, you can kind of see all the stuff they did. That's all by hand. There's no decals there. And then on the back, there's like some highlighted runes and things. Pretty amazing. Like, I love the color selection. I mean, you got the dark. I'm always a proponent of contrast, right? So contrast is amazing because check it out. You got dark, then you got light, then you got super light, then you got light contrast back here. Everything contrasts. Like, nothing clashes, but it all brings you into the miniature and makes you want to pick it up and check it out more. You know what I mean? Then back here, not only can they paint, but they can also convert. This is a converted Fate Weaver, of course, using the elf Pokemon flyer. And I mean, the colors, again, amazing. They went back in after they airbrushed it, did the dry brushing, did the hyper highlighting, all that stuff converted. The scroll in Fate Weaver's hand, converted the staff. Like, you can tell this is all, completely custom stuff here. It's just really, really good looking. Like, I saw this and I was like, oh my god, I'm losing my mind right now. And then of course they got a little Herald on a disc, and we know that's a thing now. And then these big baddies, which of course with the new FAQ work a little bit better. They're not still 100%, but they can do some work. They're pretty neat, and these are the guys off the chariots, of course. So somebody bought some chariots and had some leftover dudes. That's all I'm saying. Up here is some Nerdlings, and of course they stretched it out. All the extra dudes that come on the normal Nerdling bases, they basically worked them together and made 9 bases out of 3, which is a very smart idea. I like their moxie. I like what they did. They combined a lot of different elements here, like the tufts along with the cracked earth. I want to say that's that Grelin dry brushed up. I can almost recognize that. I think that's what that is. They also did some little bubbles and stuff right here, which you can do with rolling up green stuff balls, cutting them in half, gluing them down to the base, using some Elmer's glue to build up the base of the little fillets and everything, and then just paint over it with some green, and it looks like slime. It's dope. So here's the Screamers of Tzeentch. These guys used to be the terror of the tabletops back in 2013 with that White Dwarf update. Now they're so-so. They're worth taking. In Age of Sigmar, they can definitely do some work if you can bomb them over your enemy's line, and they can go take some objectives. They form the basis of a lot of Death Stars out there currently, and 7th edition 40k as well. but you know, you don't see them quite as much as they used to. But they're still really cool models. I like the effects they did here, some subtle airbrushing, but then they also went in and did up all the bone and hit it with some of the blood effects, because of course they had that Lamprey's Bite kind of pass over attack when they go over enemy models in 40k. And here's the D-Thirster himself. This is an amazing piece of artwork. I mean, you can tell all the freehand and everything that went into it. There's so many strokes on this model. It's just, I couldn't even tell you how many hours they got into this. But then they got, you know, some paintbrush OSL here around the edges. It's all pinned together, very well done. You've got the bone detail, you've got the corn symbols, the flames, and then of course you got this custom base that they sculpted up to kind of match the theme of the army. Now this guy is pinned in here, it can be pulled off. I'm not gonna do it, but you kind of get the idea there. And then on the front, I mean, it's just a fantastic miniature. They left the armor off, which I really like, isn't that gladiator feel kind of thing. But then, you know, up in here, he basically is lost the chest armor, but they did all the other detail work in there. And of course they got some rust effects on the brass, or some weathering on the brass there, which is pretty dope looking. And this guy is awesome. I can't wait for him to hit the tabletop here. Rest of the Khorne Demons, they got a couple of the Barks. The Hounds, these are the, I think, yeah, these are the actual Chaos Hounds, which are really cool. You don't see these very often. They're not the Flesh Hounds of Khorne. These are out of fantasy, but they work just the same, and they're on 40 mil bases. And then the Bloodletters, these guys are badass. Like, I really like the fades and everything they did for them here. I mean, you've got this kind of like, the Hellblades are done in a kind of like an NMM gold kind of style, with the horns and everything really coming together. The whole thing just kind of comes together, and then they use some blues, which really complement the steels right here. I love these miniatures. And then they've got a Banner Bear and everything. Basically all the bells and whistles, musician, Banner Bear, all that stuff, because in Age of Sigmar now, that's a thing, and you get it for free, which is really, really cool. And last but certainly not least are some Daemonets of Slaanesh. Now you might be like, hey, those aren't the real Daemonets of Slaanesh. And no, they're not. These are the Raging Hero versions of the Daemonets of Slaanesh. They are incredible looking. I have some of these painted up that I did, and I'm embarrassed to even show them to you guys because these look 100 billion times better. It's a real number. Look it up. So obviously, once again, they used a lot of complementary colors, some greens, some purples, all sorts of stuff going on in here, and also some golds on the champion. Now, this particular banner right here, also hand painted. Like, they really got it going on. They can basically do any sort of tonality matches tied in with a base, an existing theme, whatever. This is an amazing showcase army that they really, really, really did a good job on, and I am proud to showcase to you guys here in the studio, and hopefully get some battle reports in for the Long War as well. So make sure you check out Top Miniature Studios. They produce some great work, and I can't wait to show you more of this army.
Deleted scenes, bonus content, and all the interviews and post-game wrap-up videos can be located in the Hall of Veterans on thelongwar.net. Visit thelongwar.net today and try a week completely free with no strings attached. That's not all. Thelongwar.net is also your hobby resource for exclusive early access with an ad-free experience to all your favorite videos. Members of the Hall of Veterans gain early exclusive access to multiple hobby videos,